Hey, just a little rant before I get in these games and check that, you know what I'm talking about. But you feel me? Cause I've been seeing a lot, I still watch Minister Sports, Zach Smith lost the bet to me. I call him Zach Truly, You feel me? So either way, I watch other people on Instagram, and YouTube videos and comments and all that. I need to get on Twitter, cause I feel like I could do real good on Twitter, but I just ain't really took the time because I'm so late getting on Twitter and everybody's so far ahead of me. So I ain't really never just talk football on Twitter and all that. But either way, this is about Anthony. I made a video about Anthony Richardson, maybe about a video or two, about Anthony Richardson to the Falcons, in late first or early second round. But this about him, like the bashing him, Anthony Richardson. This is a video about Anthony Ford bashing Anthony Richardson. Me, I'm a die-hard Georgia fan. I love Georgia. I love Georgia more than the Atlanta Falcons. That's just how it is. I love Georgia football. You feel me? If a girl want to see me, you feel me, and Georgia on, she gonna have to wait. You feel me? That's just how it is. I just love Georgia football. You feel me? Either way. So, Anthony Richardson, of course, a Florida dude, Florida Gators player. But he ain't a Florida Gator player no more, So, you feel me? All that trash talking, when he playing for Florida, leading up to the game before Florida and all the trash talk I was doing when I was at the Florida game, Georgia-Florida game. Either way, that's out the door. It's strictly now. So, a lot of people been bashing Anthony Richardson, say he's gonna be a bust and all this, and he can't do this and do that. I mean, people gotta realize, last season as a junior was his first year actually starting. Trevor Lawrence, he had started 3 years at Clemson. His first year, he looked like a bust. And this year, last season, I should say, he finally looked like he could be, get Jaguars to a Super Bowl type stuff, Justin Fields, he still look like a bust, There's rumors that, I didn't know rumors, still rumors, but looking like they wanted to replace him with somebody else. He's still looking like a bust. And Justin Fields, he got excuses about because he ain't have no help and all this. It's a lot of quarterbacks that came, to a team that didn't have no O-line, no wide receivers, no nothing. But they didn't get the coddleness, the security blanket because, they weren't a high recruit as a sophomore like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields was. You feel me? Justin Fields was considered a top 2 pick ever since his sophomore, junior year, just like Trevor Lawrence. So they don't get the little security blanket. He's very talented. He's going to do good. He just needs some help. So we're going to see what Justin Fields talking about this year. With the help he got, what he finna get, But like I said, this about Anthony Richardson. Will Levis, I don't like to see players bust. But out of the 4, of course, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Will Levis and Anthony Richardson. Out of them 4, I think Will Levis is going to be the biggest bust. If he were to be the last quarterback I choose. Because it's just Will Levis. The thing about Anthony Richardson, he didn't, dude didn't have no help. Because when you think about it, Jacob Copeland left, and I ain't gonna firmly say this all on Rob Hughes. Okay, some throw Anthony Richardson missed. I was there at the Georgia-Florida game. He missed about 2 or 3 throws, that was big throws. But at the same time, Georgia was getting pressure on him in his face. But also, you got to hit the throws and all that. So I ain't going to strictly say that it's all on Anthony Richardson. But at the same time, I don't think he was actually confident with the offense he was in. And dude is a quick learner, and he wants to get better. Yes, I can see it in him, But we can't act like Florida just had all world weapons. He didn't have no Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Ibuka, and the elite O-line, Para Johnson and DeJuan Jones type stuff, or he didn't like Bryce Young. He had some whipping. Like his sophomore year, at least he had Jameson Williams and John Mechie and a good O-line, well, decent O-line, every year. And, of course, the defense. This year, the last season, Jermaine Burton, Jameer Gibbs, of course, Ja'Cory Brooks, on and on, and the true freshman, Isaiah Bond and all them, But what I'm saying is, Xavier Henderson, he didn't pan out like he's supposed to, Jacob Copeland left. The tight ends, they didn't do like they was expected to. Then you watch that Florida State game. He went into Tallahassee down 6 wide receivers, and was there almost beating Florida State in Tallahassee. So it's like, yeah, he's shown that he can. Oh man, like when he's home, he's home. But also he's shown that, man, he could be trash. You feel me? So it's like, but when you look at it, it's like, man, he is a junior, and he would have been in a bad situation if he stayed, because it's like who he had at wide receiver if he would have stayed anyway, unless they would have got some transfer players, but that's no guarantee. Then it'll be too late. He would be stuck with trash wide receivers as a senior. So it's like he basically had no choice but to leave. And plus, like I say, LSU and Georgia got better. Florida State got better. He would have he would have still looked trash. You feel me? He would have still had to run around for his life. His best O-lineman left. You feel me? A lot of defensive players left. So, I mean, I knew why he left. He bet on his athleticism at the combine and so on. So, you feel me? Like, and Will Levis, at least he had some decent weapons. Like Barry and Brown. Like, dude might be a top 50 pick when it's all said and done. So, and Will Levis, he just looked, like an NFL quarterback with his size frame, 6'4", 235 and all that. You feel me? So, but Anthony Richardson, I feel like he gonna be a steal. Like, I ain't gonna say a steal, but I feel like the way, because he could go first pick for all we know. Like, his comparison is Cam Newton, and maybe, I think C.J. Stroud gonna be the first pick, but maybe Carolina Panthers looking like man, like, for the next 2 or 3 years, we could build his roster. We could get Anthony Richardson. We could give him some weapons, and he could be that dude like Cam Newton was. And we could go to the Super Bowl like we did with Cam Newton, maybe to win it. So, I don't know. But either way, dude, Anthony Richardson, I feel like he going to be good. And that's why I'm just hoping, like, because you know how the draft is, like, one pick could change it all. Like, he may fall to the 3rd round, he may fall to the 2nd round, or he could be the first pick or the first rounder. You feel me? So we don't know how the draft gonna go. But I'm hoping if he is there at pick 44 for the Atlanta Falcons, we better take him. Now we better not take him. He better be somebody like Keely Ringo or Nolan Smith, somebody at 44. Some outrageous player that dropped for no reason at all. At 44, like a JSN, like Jackson Smith and the Jigaboo at 44 type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like a player that had first round talent and should have went first round, somehow dropped to 44 for Atlanta Falcons. And if JSN and Nolan Smith or Keely Ringo, somebody at 44, DeJuan Jones at 44, and Anthony Richardson at 44, then I understand why we won't get Anthony Richardson. But we better trade up and try to get him at pick 47 or pick 48 or something. Trade them 3 7-round picks and the 4th round and try to get him at pick 52 or something. You feel me? But I'm telling y'all, man, don't sleep on Anthony Richardson. Like, we've been praising all these other talented quarterbacks, like Kenny Pickett. Well, a 5th-year senior, 5th-year player. Will Levis, he a 5th-year player. C.J. Stroud, he would look average. He looked like a good quarterback, but if he didn't ever play the best game he ever played against Georgia, would he actually look like the first pick? Like, that's what we basing off him. know what he did against Georgia, the way he was running around. But like I say, if they beat Michigan, he don't play like that versus Georgia, because they would have smoked TCU, and he would have played against Georgia like he did against all the other teams he played, and thinking it was good enough to beat Georgia, and Georgia would have smacked him. But he knew that he couldn't play Georgia soft. No, he knew he had to run around for his life and actually lose his leg, and that's what people basing it off on what he did against Georgia. That's all they talk about, what he did against Georgia. But at the same time, his backs was against the wall. Like, you can't be that quarterback that played trash, and then next thing you know, when you about to get replaced by another quarterback, I'm talking like NFL, or like you about to get cut and released, you know, then you play like your money say, like you feel me, like you getting paid a big contract, basically $30-40 million a year, you play trash. Then they finna cut you or release you or get another quarterback. Then all of a sudden you play like you're $40 million a year. I mean, why play like it now? You should have been playing like that, you feel me? So that's what I'm saying, like, when the high C.J. Stroud back against the wall and everybody was talking about him, even his own fan base was bashing him, then he had like 35 days to really get in his mind that he got to go and play his best game in his life against Georgia. He did. And that's what he getting based off on. That's why he probably going to be the first pick. And Bryce Young, Bryce Young, very good quarterback. And if he was 6'1", or at least 6 foot, he would no doubt be the first quarterback or first pick, I'm pretty sure. But he's 5'10". Maybe he dropped down to the Texans. I'm pretty sure the Texans going to get him. Well, since they already got John Mechie. That's why I'm automatically assuming the Panthers get C.J. Stroud, because I feel like they love the accuracy, and they O-line getting better, and they got a good defense. And all that. So C.J. Stroud just feel like the first pick. But I'm telling you, I feel like the Raiders or the Colts. And I think the Colts trade back, because I don't know if the Colts really want Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. But I feel like the Raiders would get somebody like Anthony Richardson, because the Raiders are the type of team that they take a risk. Like they take a risk. Like the Raiders would probably draft a punter in the first round. Type stuff. But either way, I just feel like Anthony Richardson's gonna do good. I don't know why. Like, you feel me? I just feel like, he just needs a chance. And yes, I know he overthrow. And yes, I know a lot of quarterbacks do. But at the same time, like, I feel like, when he gets to the NFL and he can actually focus on being a quarterback, and get coached and develop and get some weapons and actually get, multiple games. Because in college, after 3 games, like I said, college, after 2 losses, your pride going out the door, really. But 2 losses in the NFL is like, okay, regroup. We still in it. But 2 losses, like, really after that 4th loss, then that's when the players really be like, oh man, this coach ain't no good. Type stuff, you feel me? 4 to 5 losses, wide receivers don't run hard. Your offensive line don't block as better. Block is good. You feel me? Like your wide receivers and tight ends are running routes like they would. Like they did against Utah. You feel me? Utah play you hard. First game of the season, got to do it. Then after that, losses start stacking up. You feel me? The team spirit not there. So either way, in the NFL, I feel like Anthony Richardson gonna do good. That just me. Let me know what y'all think. Maybe I don't know. I just feel like Anthony Richardson, like a lot of people bashing him. Like I don't know if they bash him because he be on the first pick, or a top 5 pick or whatever, or they bashing him just because they think he trash in general. I don't know. Like would I draft them first pick? No. If I like as the Panthers, like the Panthers, no, because they traded all their weapons. You feel me? Like they ain't really got no weapon. Like what? I think DJ Moore gone. I think Robbie Anderson got kicked off the team or traded or whatever they did. And then they traded on I think I'm trying to figure out. Do that Terrace Marshall still on there? Can't even remember. I think do they still got Terrace Marshall? I think they do. I don't think he went to the Lions. No, he ain't on the line. Either way, so they weapons thin. So I would go with CJ Stroud or Bryce Young just because they, they the safest pick. But if I had some weapons, if I had weapons all over the field, I just need a quarterback. I'm going Anthony Richardson. This is me. Like, you feel me? If I had a Michael Thomas, I had a Chris Olave, I had an Alvin Kamara with a good O-line and a good defense, Anthony Richardson would be my dude. You feel me? But either way, this is me. Let me know what y'all think, man. I'm out. Go Dogs.